Brad Pitt has been one of Hollywood's most successful actors since his breakout role in 1991's Thelma and Louise, a role he landed in a strange twist of fate.
All the ways you wish you could be, that's me.
William Baldwin was actually the first actor cast as Thelma's love interest, but had to drop out to shoot Backdraft, a role Pitt had also auditioned for. Robert Downey Jr. was then cast in Thelma and Louise until director Ridley Scott put him next to Geena Davis and felt he was too short. So Davis suggested Pitt over George Clooney, Mark Ruffalo, and Christian Slater, who had also auditioned.
But I appreciate your time. You all have a good day, all right?
Even more strange, Pitt had recently lost a role also named J.D. to Slater in 1988's Heathers.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Yes, before Brad Pitt was Brad Pitt, he had to audition and often lost the part. He failed to land a role in Cheers and was beat out by Jim Caviezel for The Thin Red Line. But perhaps most infamous was losing out to Drugstore Cowboy's James LeGros for Phantasm 2.
I'm not the only one, there's others.
Once Pitt's career took off after Thelma and Louise and A River Runs Through It, however, he was in consideration for most of the hot roles for young actors, from Leonardo DiCaprio's in Titanic to Matthew McConaughey's in A Time to Kill.
That's what losing sounds like.
Pitt was in the mix for 3 different parts that ended up going to Johnny Depp: Sleepy Hollow, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and From Hell. Other roles he was considered for include Denzel Washington's in Crimson Tide, Mel Gibson's in Braveheart, Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, Jude Law's in Cold Mountain, and Nicolas Cage's in Kick-Ass.
You always knock me for a loop.
There are also several roles he landed but had to turn down over scheduling. Gil Bellows in The Shawshank Redemption, Chris O'Donnell's in The Chamber, Matthew McConaughey's in Dallas Buyers Club, Matt Damon's in The Departed, a movie Pitt stayed on as a producer, and Hugh Jackman's in The Fountain, which he left to make Troy.
Imagine a king who fights his own battles. Wouldn't that be a sight?
With Russell Crowe's part in State of Play and Reeves in The Devil's Advocate, Pitt left over creative differences, which was also the case for Rockstar, even though his then-wife, Jennifer Aniston, stayed on to star opposite Mark Wahlberg.
Am I being kicked out of the group that I started?
The longest list for the in-demand actor, however, are the roles Pitt turned down over the years. Deep breath. Apollo 13 to do 7, both leads in Brokeback Mountain, Hugh Grant's in About a Boy, Jared Leto's in Alexander, Matt Damon's in All the Pretty Horses and The Legend of Bagger Vance, Christian Bale's in American Psycho, Billy Crudup's in Almost Famous, Bill Paxton's in A Simple Plan, Olivier Martinez's in Unfaithful, Wesley Snipes in The Fan, Ewan McGregor's in A Life Less Ordinary, and Scott Speedman's in Duets, which he dropped out of due to his split with then-fiancée Gwyneth Paltrow.
I think we're just gonna have to be secretly in love with each other and leave it at that, Richie.
That's a lot of missed opportunity, but Pitt likely has little regret, as he has rarely misfired with the parts he has picked, including 3 that earned him Oscar noms: 12 Monkeys, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Moneyball. Next up for Pitt is the space adventure Ad Astra and Quentin Tarantino's highly anticipated Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which could also be used to describe this video.
We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't.